simple. You have a serious injury or death, and you don't have enough insurance, right? So you have an obligation to your client to look for every other potential claim out there. So what I recommend is if you have a serious injury or death, or even a potential one, for example, a TBI that may get worse, then you need to look at other claims. So you may not know how bad the injury is when your client first comes in. A lot of times it'll be obvious. But now with TBIs, it may not be so obvious. So if you think you have an auto products case or not enough insurance, and you need to look for other claims, then you have to do some things that are very important, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Get the vehicle, preserve the vehicle. So, Anne, what do you want to add to that? I try to simplify it.
Yeah, one of the things that I always look for is if you have an accident that involves, especially if there are multiple occupants and all of the occupants walk away but one, and that person is terribly injured. And the sort of list of things that I look for are any kind of paralysis, any kind of burns, anytime a vehicle starts on fire, you look to see if there's a problem. Like you said, TBIs, which you have to make sure you're looking closely at those, because even those mild or moderate TBIs can end up in some severe damages, or death. So when you have someone in a vehicle who suffers one of those type of injuries, then you want to look and say, well, what happened here? Because the vehicles are supposed to be designed so as to protect people in accidents, because the automakers know accidents are going to happen. That is foreseeable. It's going to happen, and they have a duty to design their vehicles to prevent these serious injuries. And it is most of these things are preventable. So anytime you have those serious injuries, and like Kent said, you're looking at the insurance and you go, oh gosh, this guy that hit him has $25,000 worth of insurance. That's not even close enough to compensate. Then you have a duty to look harder and see, what am I missing here?
And Nick, one of the important points that Ian just made is these cases, when you look at them, they need to make sense. That I have a crash here, and you know what? 3 of the people aren't hurt very bad. One's hurt real bad. Why is that? Or I have a minor impact and I've got a serious injury. So it's important that the cases make sense, and that gets into part of the jury appeal and things of that nature.